Hi everybody and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. Oh gosh, this is week 22 in the Margarete Miller collage weekly planner. And I really had a hard time with this one. So I don't know, it's okay. I'll tell you, I started out with this right here. I've been dying to use this giant beetle. That's what it's a sticker, and it's out of one of my big books. I cut it out. I put it on plain paper, cut it out, and I just can't make it work. So I'll probably use this in some sort of surreal collage at some point. I don't know, maybe a Margarete Miller down the road. But it is really cool, and I like the way it looks here on my table. I have to give him a name. I haven't decided what I'm going to name him yet. So I'm just going to set him aside, and I'm not going down that road. The only thing I pulled from my Daphne's diary, because as you know, I'm trying to use my Daphne diary magazines, is these books here and then this page here. And it's too long for my page, and I didn't really want to cut it at all. I really like it. So I decided, if you're familiar with Mad Magazine, they used to have a fold out in the back. It's not quite like that, but every time I do a fold like this, I think of Mad Magazine, where you can have it, then it's folded and then you open it up. You can see the picture, but usually when you used to fold it in the Mad Magazine, it would make both pages would come together like this, okay? And then it would make a picture here, and then you open it up and it would be a totally different picture. But that's what I think of when I make one of these folds. So I wanted a pocket, and I just folded it up like this to create that. But it appears that it's not that straight, and I don't know what happened because I used my cutter here. So I'm just going to trim this off here, this side, and just kind of even it up a little bit. So yeah, so that's what we're working on today, and I want to welcome everyone. I want to welcome my new subscribers, and I want to welcome back all of my gals that have been true blues and coming to all of my crafting parties here on my channel and sitting with me around my craft table. And a special shout out to my patrons over on my Patreon. It's just another little extra way you can support me, and I appreciate all of you over there. And also, I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning. Today's Saturday, and I woke up at 2 a.m. and I couldn't sleep. So I laid there for 2.5 hours thinking about what I could make over on my Patreon, because I have exclusive videos over there for the gals that are at the higher tiers. And I think I've come up with some fun things. But it's funny how, I wake up and, first and foremost, I try to get back to sleep. But my mind gets wandering, and I start thinking about, what I can do, new things I can do. And I think I'm going to start a fun, over on my Patreon, I'm going to start a fun, mixed media style book, but it's going to be more with like abstract watercoloring and stuff like that. And I was thinking about things I have in my cellar that I could bring up and maybe do like some spin art with my watercolors. And I just went crazy this morning. I finally did get back to sleep. But that's how my mind works. And I'm sure yours works the same way. So, like I said, the only thing I cut out from my Daphne's diary are these two images here, because I'm stumped. I'm really drawing a blank on these here. She wants us to use a border or a frame, which I pulled out a slide frame again, because I felt I needed something small. Something found in a library, that's these books here. A bug or insect. Well, I have a bee here, so I'm going to go with this little bee right there. All right. This is all about beehiving, beekeepers. A piece of newspaper, I'm going to use paint splatters, which I've never done before on any of my work. So this will be a real treat for me. And then stitching, real drawn or stamped. I'm going to do real stitching, and I'm going to do that straight away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch around this here just to close it off to make my pocket. I'm not going to have to do any cuts or anything like that today. And then that will go on my paper like this. And I see that, I know why this isn't cut even, because I may put some washi tape down here as well. So I'll probably pull that. So for now, I'm going to get this stitched. I'll pull some washi tape. I'll be back and we will finish up. So I have it stitched, and you can see I like to do the zigzag, I'll put it on there, the zigzag straight around like that. I've got a nice little pocket here. It's not that deep, but I can still put, you know, something in here or whatever. So it's pretty cut and dry as to what. I didn't pull any washi tape because I don't think I'm going to need it for the bottom. I think this is just fine with the stitching on here. Okay. I don't need to add anything more if I don't have to. Here I am going to put some Ranger ink just a little bit around the side here, just kind of make it pop, and I'm going to put it up around this B. All right. I thought about putting washi tape on that as well. Like sometimes I do, but I don't want to do that either. So I think I'm going to put that there like that. And then we have, which is accenting. I'm doing that because it accents the little B here. Okay. And then I have these I found in these are for scrapbooking, but I don't know the name. Let's see. Is this K and Company? Yeah, K and Company. These are very old. Oh gosh, I bought these so many years ago, and I thought I would pull these out. They're really fun flower stickers, and bees love flowers. And this one here, this is supposed to be like a little yellow jacket. However, I might take this off because there's the little bee there, and I want that bee to show. So that's really cute. So I'm going to add that. And I want to accent these books because I'd like to have the books down here. So I wasn't quite sure what to do. So I took the negative out of here, okay? And I was going to use 2 negatives down here like this. But I think these might be a little bit, I don't know. I could use these. They're a little bit darker. And then I was going to use I cut 1 in half. I don't know why I did that. And then I was going to use a half on each side, but I may use these. I want to make this, I want your eye to come down here and see this. Because I think if I just put it on here, it's going to get lost. And I need something. I didn't want to outline. I could have put this on black paper, outlined it, or even on white. I could do that as well, and then it might go with that. I'm undecided, so we'll take a look at that after. But I do know I want to get this down up here. And these have 2 sides to them, you know, the Ektachrome on one side, and then the Made in USA on the other side. You see that? And I always try to use the Made in USA side because I just think that's important to have things made in the USA. So we're going to put that there. So that kind of frames in the B. And then I want to take one of these because I just think that this is really pretty. And I want to use this here. And because these are old, and I want to make sure they stick, I'm going to put some liquid cement. I call art glitter glue liquid cement because it is, once you put it down, there's no getting it up. All right. Okay, so we're going to put that kind of curves nice around that, and then I can snip, or my little scissors, I can snip this. And sometimes with the Margarete Miller challenge, you can just make a pretty page. I mean, it doesn't really have to be, I don't think they have to be super spectacular, and I think the prompts are just here to guide you, because normally I may not even come up with a page like this. So here's my border or frame. There's my bug, the little bee. We're going to put this little bee over here as well. I think that's adorable. So I hope everybody is doing well. I can't believe how fast the time is going. And I want to thank everyone for sharing your health issues with me as well. I will tell you now in the video, because people have been asking, I don't have all of my tests back yet from the doctors. I did get one. Well, let me tell you what I got first. So the other video that I told you, so it's been, I just want to look at my book because I know it's been April. We're in May, aren't we? Oh my goodness gracious. And I keep, this is my date book, and I keep everything written in here as to what's going on. So this is all my eye stuff. So it was Monday the 13th. That's when I first went to the doctor, my primary care. I had blood work done there. Then at 10:15, I had to go to my eye doctor to make sure I had iritis. Then I went back at 11:30 to my primary care, and I had my chest x-ray done. So, and then Wednesday, the 15th, I went for more blood work. That was for all autoimmune. I had 7 vials drawn that day. So on Wednesday, I got test results back. So my primary care did a CBC, and then he did a CMP and an ESR. Well, I didn't know what any of those were, and they explained them to me on the phone, but I wanted to have this for my information and put in my book. So if you're not familiar, a CBC is a complete blood count. It's used to look at overall health and find a wide range of conditions, including anemia, infection, and leukemia. A complete blood count measures the following: red blood cells, which carry oxygen, white blood cells, which fight infection. That came back perfect. I'm very healthy there. No leukemia, no infections, no anemia, leukemia, anemia, none of that. So that's good. My CMP, which is your comprehensive metabolic panel, that's a blood test that gives doctors information about the body's fluid balance, levels of electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and how well the kidneys and liver are working. Perfect. Everything is spot on. No problems there. And then an ESR is erythrocyte. I think that's how you spell it. Say it. Erythrocyte sedimentation rate. And that's a SED rate. That's a test that indirectly measures the level of certain proteins in the blood. This measures, this measurement correlates with the amount of inflammation in your body. I have none. I have absolutely no inflammation at all in my body. My chest x-ray came back, and the only thing they discovered there was I have some asthma, and I knew that. I've had asthma and bad allergies since I was very little, and there was a lot of sports in school I had to quit. I was the center for the basketball team in high school, and I had to quit because I couldn't run up and down the court. I would become so breathless. I would get pains in my chest. So unfortunately, I had to quit that. I was able to join the volleyball team because there's not a lot of running. So I went from basketball to volleyball. And then, like when I hike, I have to stop. I get very winded. So that I know. So I'm going to have a pulmonary test to see how much the rate, or I guess the rate or the measurement of asthma. And they want me to have an emergency inhaler in case I'm out hiking or something and I need to take it. So that will be done, but that's down the road. And then for the autoimmune, out of those 7 vials I had drawn this past Wednesday, only one test came back there, and that was the syphilis test. And I don't have syphilis, which I knew I didn't have syphilis. So I'm waiting on, I think, 5 or 6 more results. So that's, I mean, it's all good news so far. So there's the little update on that. So that all made me happy. So I just have to wait and see. Oh, and then when I went to the eye doctor on Friday, my levels were back down again. My pressure was 14, which is great. And she said she saw absolutely no cells in there. It's definitely cleared up, but I have to stay on the prednisone drops for the way she has me tapering off, probably until the end of June, beginning of July. So she's not sure if I was just taking off the drops too soon. They didn't taper them enough. You know, it's kind of like when you take antibiotics for bronchitis or chest infection, something, and then you're done and you still, it comes back. They have to put you on antibiotics again. That's kind of like what that's like. So far, so good, which is comforting. I've taken myself out of the grave. I'm going to live. And all is good. So, all right. So let's finish this up here. And I'm not sure where I want to position this. I do want to use this flower here. You know, maybe I could do something like this, but then if I do something like this, I feel like I have to, I could get a little saying and put down here. That might be kind of cute. And then that would like draw your eye down around here towards the books. Maybe I'll do that. It's just simple and easy, and I'll find a little saying. So yeah, again, I want to thank everybody for, you know, sharing your health issues, and you know, I hope you all come out unscathed, and you are all, I know some people are away getting exams. They're one of my gals, she just had cataract surgery, and I chatted with her briefly this morning, and she's doing well. So that makes me happy. All right, I guess I'll put these like here. I'm not going to frame them. So our health is so important. And someone had suggested that I be tested for Lyme disease as well. Thank you. And that has crossed my mind, but I haven't been bitten. See, I put that, I was going to put that over there. Well, I'm going to put it here now, right? I guess that's actually a little bit better because it's highlighting the top here. But yeah, I haven't been bitten or anything like that, and I would know. I mean, when I go out and I mow and do my thing, I'm very conscientious of where I'm stepping, and because I have to dump my grass clippings way back in a spot where it's a mess. So I'm very conscientious about that, and I check my legs and ankles when I leave the area before I get back on my mower. So and I have had a tick in the past, but it was off within the first 20 minutes. So, and then the doctors put me right on the antibiotics. So I don't know. I don't know. All right, so now the only thing I have left is to do the paint splatters. And I've never done this before, so it's going to be interesting. And I'm going to get a scrap paper and kind of put this here like that. We'll see how it works. So I just pulled out my old paint tray here. And I think maybe I will do, maybe I'll do this right here with the reds. And we'll see how the pinks, we'll see how this comes out. And I think I'll try it because I've never, like I said, I've never done this before. I got an old newspaper here. Okay. I don't know how wet I should have this, but it'll just give it a little bit of color. And because it's watercolor, I have to let that dry for a few minutes. So I'm going to let that dry. It was harmless, no big deal. And I think what I'll do is I'll get because I do stamp these with the date. I can stamp it. I may have to dry that as well. So this is what I said, 22. So we're going to make this 22. It's still May. Yeah, the 22nd. It is not the date that I'm stamping. It's the 22, okay? And I think I will put this, I think I'll just stamp it over here. And then I stamp this so I know, because I put these in the back of my book. So that's number 22. And this isn't drying that fast. So I'm going to get a little tissue. I'll blot this, and then we'll get it in the book. All right, so I just blotted it dry a little bit. And that's it. So that is this week's Margarete Miller. So a border or a frame, which is the slide frame. Something found in the library, books, bug or insect. That's my little bee here and my little bee there. I didn't use the newspaper. Stitching, real drawn or stamped. I stitched around it. And then I used the paint splatters instead. So we'll get that in my book here. And I put all these, see, these are all labeled. So I put these back here. And because this book I am going to use down the road. And let's see, May, there's last week's 20. Is that right? 20? No, I think I marked, did I mark that wrong? Did I skip a week? 22, I did, I skipped a week. Imagine that feature, image that features a face. 20, I skipped a week again. So this is 22. So where is, aha, here's 21. Ha! So you just got a really early view of 22. So maybe this will help you folks that, maybe this will help you folks that are having trouble with week 22. I've given you a really big... I'm such a dumb bunny. I was struggling with this one. And here's 21. So 21... Go watch somebody else's video and see what they did with wings, a math symbol, something silver, something that came in the mail, a black and white photo, and something torn. You'll see this next week. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed week 22. I'm so confused this week. I've had so many had so many doctors. I think it's all the blood I've given. I called my girlfriend on Thursday. And I was thinking it was Friday. I've been one day ahead of the game. Now I'm 1 week ahead of the game. I called her on Thursday and I said, hey, what are you and Doug doing for dinner tonight? I said, you want to come and cook out with us? And she's like, yeah. She goes, Doug has cross country tonight. He coaches a cross country team at school. And she goes, he's got cross country. It's the last meet. And I'm like, it's a Friday. They never run on Fridays. I'm like, okay. I go, well, then come tomorrow night and you can have leftovers, whatever we've had tonight. And she goes, okay, well, that's Friday. I'm like, no, today's Friday. I says, come on Saturday. I had that poor girl so confused. She goes, it's Thursday. I'm like, I don't know what day it is. So I just be here Friday night, whatever night that is. I'll check with my husband, make sure that I've got food for you. I don't know. I'm just so confused. All right. I'm going to leave it at that before I get myself in trouble. So more trouble. So I hope you liked week 22, which is due out next Sunday. Okay, everybody. I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Have a great week. Don't get mixed up like I have.